everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Christy here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know your Moon and Rising sign, Virgo, there's a link in the description box where you can find out your whole birth chart. And that way, for additional messages for the week, you can always check out your Moon and Rising signs as well as your Sun sign reading today. So this is for Virgo for the week of August 15th to the 22nd. I'm going to be using the Wisdom of the Oracle Tarot for a 5-card spread today. And then in addition, as always, I'll be drawing a card each from the Medicine Card Tarot and the Healing with the Angels Tarot. So this is a general reading, whatever is most prominent in your life, Virgo. I encourage you to apply these messages to, and hopefully you find them helpful and healing. So what does Virgo need to know? Cool. All right, so we have your 5 cards here. Let's just get a general idea of what's going on for the whole spread, and then we will look at what card is in each position, and then I'll hold each one up to the camera for you so you can get a feel for what's going on in the cards and certainly use your intuition. And if anything appeals to you color-wise or image-wise, and you're drawn to that and it's speaking to you, certainly use that to your advantage as well. So generally what we're looking at is being able to make big moves for yourself by remaining in the moment, by being focused. You have a lot of opportunity and support available to you. What could be tripping you up this week is an aptitude for either looking at the past or looking at the future as opposed to being here right now. So I really think the message this week for you, Virgo, is to stay present, stay current here and now, appreciate the lessons of the past, look forward to opportunities in the future, but everything happens right now, and this is where the magic is. I don't see an overarching sense of worry or concern here. I see you feeling really confident, in fact, and willing to take some risks. So let's look at each card in their position. The Here and Now card is in the position representing you. And like I said, this is really beautiful symbology, and it really speaks to the present moment and the magic of the present moment. We can, it's interesting, we can be driving our car of life, and be looking at the rear view and sort of seeing how we've come so far, but too much attention there sort of makes you crash, right? So like I said, there could be an overemphasis on the past or the future here, but it's not just you, it's anybody. It's going to trip you up. It's designed to trip you up, okay? Both of those, I'm going to call them time travels, right? Both of those elements of time travel, because it's imaginary at this point. I mean, memories, you're just drawing upon something that made an impact that you're giving importance to. And maybe the lesson here is to let go of that, especially if you find that happening too often, or if you find that happening over one specific issue. It could be something that because you're aware of this and it's tripping you up and it's constant, maybe it's time to get to the bottom of that. And you can do that in the moment as well. You can write down what that issue is. You can speak to a therapist or counselor about that. You can do reading regarding someone else who has found their way out of that concern or out of that headspace. But if there is a concern here that you think, that you feel is sort of pulling you back or pulling you down or keeping you in any way from being here and now in the present moment, it could be the week to get to the bottom of that, Virgo, because you have a lot of support, and I do feel that you are stable and that you are, like I said a moment ago, that you could be in a position to take a risk here. And I think that would be worth risking. I think letting go of something that feels heavy or draws you to a time, particularly from the past, that doesn't serve you anymore for whatever reason. It's dead and gone. It brings bad emotions. There's nothing you can do about it. It makes you feel sad. Okay, so those are lower vibrational energies, and you can choose to let it go by one way that I can consider doing that is to bless it with love and let it go. However, it does come with recognition. You have to be able to put it in a box. You have to be able to not only contemplate what it is that's tripping you up or holding you back. If it's just one thing or many things, it's still important to identify. But it is critical to identify what that is in order to sort of, face that beast. However, I think the exciting part about that this week is that you're ready. You're ready, you're willing, you're capable, and good on you, because I think it'll really help you steer clear of sort of aggravating factors in keeping you from being present or, enjoying the present, or even imagining something creative and fantastic for your future. You don't want to be dragged down by, worries about the future, and you certainly don't want to be dragged down by issues of the past. So there is an opportunity here, definitive opportunity here, to get to the root or the heart of something where a new life or something very positive for you exists within, but it does have to do with being in the here and now. So if I had a mission for you this week, Virgo, that would be it. To spend time in the here and now and not give too much heed to the past in terms of memories. As I've pointed out, if there's something significant that you feel is consistently drawing you back and it's bringing you down, I think this could be the week to get to the heart of it in order to obliterate it, in terms of its control or power over you. In the position of energy you're just leaving or bringing into the week is a leg up. This is always a beautiful card, no matter where it lands. But in terms of being in a position to get to the root of something that's tripping you up, this is beautiful, because this means that you are feeling very supported, or you are in a position and have done the hard work of supporting yourself emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, even financially, even in any prosperous way. If it has to do with friends or peer groups or information or education, you're feeling really ready. I feel like there's a great deal of readiness here. You're ready to take something on, and it does have to do with the fact that you're feeling as though you can ask for help. You don't have to do this alone. And like I mentioned here with the here and now card, if there is someone that you think has gotten through something that you want to mimic, right? And 10 to 1, Virgo, there is. No matter what is troubling you, someone else, whether they're living or deceased, has been through it, whether you know them or not. They could be famous, they could be infamous, they could be your next door neighbor. But if you leave space to be open for inspiration around how someone got through something and managed to get past it, or succeeded, or achieved something that you're looking to achieve this week, I think that you can really look to that individual or that concept for support this week, and not necessarily reinvent the wheel for yourself. there's no need. It's just going to take more time. So take what someone else has already achieved and apply it to your current position. Use it to your advantage. This week, Virgo, in the what is working for you position is your flexible card. This is, again, so I'm looking at both flexible and come to the edge here when I say that you're really ready to take something on. You feel really supported. You feel really agile. Could it be physical? Sure. Is it probably mental, emotional, or spiritual? Definitely. Could it be work habits, learning, career, travel? Absolutely. Like I said, as a general reading, whatever is most prominent in your life or really important to you, in other words, this week, this is what it is in relation to. But give yourself a lot of credit this week and really consider the following, that no matter what happens, if you achieve exactly what you want as an outcome or whether you don't, that this risk, that this process, that this goal setting is part of the winning outcome. It's part of winning. It's part of achieving. It's part of success. So another way to look at flexible is to say no matter what happens at the end of this decision or after this contemplation or getting to the bottom or the root of something, no matter what lies at the end, whether it is so-called success or so-called failure, that you can face it. And this is part of being super, super strong, and it's part of what is happening here with Come to the Edge, which is opportunities available that you may not be aware of. This just means that you literally have what it takes to support yourself no matter what happens at the end of looking at this equation, looking at this issue, trying to find a solution to something, even if it's literally not looking at that past issue anymore, by getting to the bottom of it, or not, spending so much time contemplating concerns about the future or even worry about the future as opposed to planning for the future. Okay, there's a nice but subtle difference there. Yes, lots of things can happen in the future, but you can only plan so much. The rest of it you're going to have to let go of. Worrying about what may occur is for naught. It's a waste of energy. So I think there is a way to get around this if you do it with heart, if you believe firmly that this is the time for you, that you can do it step by step, and just have a little faith in yourself. Just know that you're taken care of, that you have what it takes no matter what the end of the week holds for you, that you can continue on. I think being in the present is probably your biggest stronghold this week. This is going to feel like your biggest, kind of like a superhero cape, like being in the present, and that's going to help you power through. And then with the probable outcome card is round and round. This is where I'm thinking you could be tripping yourself up with some thoughts, some old thought processes or old belief or habits or patterns, that type of thing. We're looking at something that's going around and around and around here with issues of anxiety or pain about the past. So there is a lot of opportunity to get yourself out of this round and round this week, Virgo. I think it just a very definitive decision has to be made about it, and then just facing things one by one. And this is what I'm talking about here with the here and now. Her flag says you are here, and you are, right? That's it. That's all any human being has. That's all any of us truly have. We can live in the past, but why? It doesn't serve us anymore. Unless it's a sheer sense of joy and it creates a picture of joy and gratitude in your heart, and you're not living there, you're just sort of, looking at the past in terms of what you'd like to recreate. Fantastic. Do that. This is really speaking to, issues of a troubling past, or issues of something that hasn't been resolved. So again, this isn't, you have something that lay inside this egg. There is a new life that lay inside this egg. You have to get inside, though. You have to feel it, and though it's possible, and get to the bottom of it. And again, with the future sign here in terms of worry, create that beautiful sense of balance for yourself if possible this week, Virgo, because there is a great deal of opportunity for you to do something really magical for yourself, and that is to release yourself from the past, or this one issue or concern from the past. But it does take getting to put a face to it, to put a name on it, to create something around it that represents what it means for you to actually destroy it, or to put it on a shelf, or to say, I'm done with you, I release you with love. And this is why I think you can do it, is because you have the leg up. This has actually been showing up in your readings, I would say, every week for the past month. If I recall correctly, you have a great deal of support. This is, generally speaking, a really supportive card. Does it mean that you're giving back? Absolutely. Does it mean a bartering system? No, not necessarily. It could be something that's just universal, or something that's cosmic, or even karmic here, right? I mean, we are dealing with issues that there could be a karmic prospect here, but certainly understand that you have beautiful karma in your life as well, and it's really it's not only possible, but it's important to let go of the karma that isn't working for you, in identifying it first. In the what's working for you, I hope you can see here, it's your second egg in the card, by the way. This really means that you have a lot available to you that lie inside. Your strength is inside, and something beautiful can bloom from this. You're very agile. You have a lot of mobility here. You might even have practice around this issue with another concern, or another question, or another past or future, or depression or anxiety issue. You might have already faced this or a similar problem in the past, and you're feeling strong because of it. And if that's the case, congratulations, because trust me, just keep going, keep doing that, because you're feeling strong because of it. This is an opportunity that's available to you. A lot of love. If you do this with a lot of love, and you're willing to make and create and accept beautiful changes in your own life by letting something go, right? By letting a concern go, or a worry go, then you have the beauty that comes with letting that go. And it is important to, when letting something go, in particular, if this is happening for you, to be mindful that it can create a void, and that whatever you do release or let go of does need to be filled with something as good as or better than what was there, so that you don't feel there's a void in your life, particularly if this has to do with another person, right? You don't want to feel like you're alone, or you have no one to talk to, or the loss of this person or job or concept or idea or whatever it is creates a void in your life. That's not what I'm saying. You don't want to create a void necessarily, but be mindful about what you're letting go of, and in the same term, be mindful of what you're willing to replace it with, okay? So it's sort of two-tier. This concept of this decision-making, or this coming to terms with something, is two-pronged. You have to identify it, and then what the problem is and what you're willing to release, and then identify what you're willing to take its place. And then in the round and round, again, this is a karmic card. This just means what you're bringing in to fruition here, and what you truly feel you deserve. So if there's any old or negative, past, depressive, etc. energy here, it's really important to release that this week, because that karma's old. Its time is up. It's served its purpose, whatever that was, and it's time to move on. So I really feel like you have a lot of universal, or as I mentioned, cosmic support right now as well, because you have, I'm seeing here definitively that you've already successfully accomplished this in a different or similar, but even if it was a different realm or a different concern, the same themes apply. How you went about that successfully, whoops, that's a pile. You can apply the same mentality to this. And I do want to go back to the sense of gentleness. We have the deer here. This is the gentleness card. There's no need to be hard on yourself this week. I don't see you doing that. But in terms of karma, we can really talk ourselves into and out of feeling bad, right? If you think it's your karma, you think it belongs to you, you think you deserve it, or you think someone else deserves it, right? I don't think there's any room for that type of language this week anymore, Virgo. It's just time to maybe drop it and invent something new to take its place. It doesn't need to be done right now. It needs to be contemplated and considered, and a decision needs to be made around what it actually is and then what you're going to replace it with. Are you in a race? No, there's nothing race here. There's no deadline necessarily. It's just all about what's going on in your heart. You are here and now. How do you want to feel here and now from here on out? You're in charge of that. So when I say be gentle with yourself, I mean it, because a lot of people think, and I was one of them at the beginning of my healing, where there was a sense of, if I'm not hard on myself, or if I don't make this difficult, or if it isn't painful on some level, it's not working. But I don't believe that. I think that you can make big and important and impacting and lasting changes in your life while remaining gentle with yourself. And if it is difficult for you, or if it is emotional, perhaps another way to look at the situation this week, Virgo, is to imagine all parties being really young, including yourself. Maybe looking at it from a childlike perspective here, just to keep some heart in it, and to keep, blame and shame out of it. And your last card is abundance. Listen, I really truly believe this for you. I've been seeing this pop up for you. You've been doing remarkable work, Virgo, and you deserve the beauty in life. You need to accept this. You need to make room for this, okay? The past and the future, spend as little time there as possible, particularly this week. Recall you live in an abundant universe. Choose to live in abundance. Choose beautiful things for yourself. This karma, this old karma, these mistakes, these errors, these deserves are over. It's over. You can move on. So, I'm excited for you. I'm curious as heck. So if you have a second to comment, let me know how this is working out for you. And if you're not already, subscribe to my channel, because I upload videos for your sign every week, Virgo. Until we meet next time, take good care. Bye for now.